This series is about my sixth Ford Ranger. I've owned 6 of them over the years, and they were all the same. Long box, V6, fleet. The fleet Rangers never had all the bells and whistles. It was just a truck. That was all I wanted. My first Ranger was a 1984. Then I got an 87. Then an 89. Then a 93. And finally a 2007. This is an image of my 2007 Ford Ranger one day before it was sold with 194,000 miles. And here it is setting next to the new Ranger, the 2022. It was special ordered as a super cab, 6-foot 1-inch box, vinyl floor, cloth seats, mud flaps, and the rear seat delete. I lost my Dee Zee Step because that mounts to the same place that the receiver hitch does. What I determined with the Dee Zee Step, it almost fits inside the U-Haul mount. However, I'm going to try to, on those marks that I made, cut off that strip down to the, basically it's back to the webbing. And if I cut that off, I'm figuring I might be able to slip it up in. The original bolts are 16 mil by 2 1/4 inch. I doubt the stock bolts are going to be long enough. I'm probably going to have to get like 3s, 3 1/4, something like that if I can find them. Here I had every metal cutting blade that I had from my jigsaw. And you can see it just chewed them up, even though I was lubricating them. So I'm going to use a Morse bimetal cobalt at 12-inch by 24. That appears to be the only thing that can cut them because the steel is so hard. Well, that cobalt hacksaw blade is going slow but sure, but I'm also using plenty of WD-40 to lubricate it, just like I did with the jigsaw blades. However, they just couldn't take it. Okay, the test fit went well, and then all I had to do was a little black Rust-Oleum touch-up paint on the cut edge. So now the big thing is finding a 2.5, preferably 2 3/4 inch, 16 millimeter hitch mounting bolt, because the 2 1/4 isn't going to work. It won't quite thread in. So they're getting away with one piece of metal for the receiver or this step, but you can't have 2 pieces of metal. It's just too much. Okay, so I've got to take the factory bolts out. Now for that I'm using a 21 millimeter or 7/8. Well, okay. So the other side of the mount is going to hold it up, those 2 bolts. Now the difference is, on this, it's an Allen. I could not get a flange head like that unless I special ordered it. So there is the difference in length right there. It's about a 1/2 inch longer. This is 2 1/4 inches, this is 2 3/4. So this is 57 millimeter, this is 70 millimeter. And it's 16 mil. Make sure it screws in. At least it's supposed to. 16 by 1.
or I'm sorry, 16, and the thread pitch is 2.0. Okay, that one goes in. This one is a little persnickety. There it is. It's in. Alright, because it doesn't have, if you notice, it doesn't have the end right here that is ground down. I mean, I could grind it down if it's going to be persnickety. And to put it on, you're going to need a 15 millimeter Allen. However, I don't have a 15 millimeter Allen, so I made this little piece up that goes in like that. It's just a bolt and a nut. So you can either use 15 millimeter or 9/16, depending on what you have. Well, we'll see about getting this in place. May be interesting. Okay, there's the first one. And let me get my second one here. It'd be nice if I could actually see. I'm sure my hand's right in front of the camera. Okay, they've started. So now I just got to tighten it down, get you a better camera angle. That might be a little better. Just got to slowly get that cranked up. I just couldn't see waiting a week or two for flange bolts when these will work. I went to Hiawatha Fasteners. Fastenal won't let you in the building unless you're a member. I'm not sure what that member means, but that seems to be their thing, and I'm not a member. So I don't know whether Hiawatha Fasteners is nationwide or not. I did look at their flange bolts, but they only went up to 14 mil. So of course the camera's in the way, swinging my 18-inch bar. Alright, you get the idea of how I'm going to do it. So there you go, guys. Dee Zee said it wouldn't fit. Well, obviously it does with just a minor adjustment. Can anybody do that? Should be able to. Just got to have a cobalt hacksaw blade and some longer bolts. So I'm happy with that. I'm back where I was, and I have my super bumper.